Oh, exciting data coming in right from the National Statistics Office. GDP numbers for Q3 of FY24, the current financial year, are out. And surprise, surprise, GDP has grown 8.4%. Yeah, 8.4% is the GDP growth for Q3, the October to December quarter for this financial year. All expectations were bordering the 6.7 to 6.9% range. A sub 7% expectation is what all economists had. And in fact, the government itself had said that Q3 may not be as robust as the data that we had seen coming out from Q1 and Q2. Remember, Q1 we saw GDP grow at 7.8%. Q2 a little tepid at 7.6, but well above the expected average, which was expected for the country then, when the NSO had expected India to grow at 7% for the year. Soon after Q2 results were announced, the expectation was revised in the first revision by the government, saying that Indian economy will grow instead of 7%, at 7.3%. That was the first revised estimate. And with data coming in today for Q3 at 8.4%, it now seems, and the government has ratified and the NSO has ratified, that the second revised estimate is now out, that the GDP growth for the whole year for FY24 is now expected to be 7.6%. India, in any case, at a 7% average, has been the fastest growing major economy in the world at 7.3%. Those aspirations were even higher, and it was expected that 7.3 might be a difficult target for India to achieve. Remember, the Reserve Bank of India and the Governor Shaktikanta Das had also revised in the first RBI revised estimate, had revised India's growth rate from 6.5% to 7%. Now, that 7% was a conservative estimate as per the Reserve Bank of India, but the NSO at 7.3%, now taking it up on the back of Q3 at 8.4%. The annual target up to 7.6% is something which nobody out there had expected. Now, let's take a minute to understand what is driving the Indian economy. At an overall level and annual level, consumption still becomes the major driver of the Indian economy, adds about 55 to 57% of the total GDP pie. What we've seen in Q3 is manufacturing and construction. These two sectors have touched a near double digit. Some reports indicating that manufacturing has grown upwards of 11% and construction near about 10% or so. Now, compare this to agriculture. Agriculture has been one of the laggards, has not grown in as much measure. About 3.8% or so has been the growth that the agriculture sector has seen. Now, this of course is coming on the back of overall expectations for the financial year that we should now look at revising our expectations from 7.3 to 7.6%. If you look at quarter 1, quarter 2 and quarter 3 at 7.8% plus 7.6% plus 8.4% divided by 3 quarters, the average that India has clocked already in the first 3 quarters is about 7.93%, which means in the first 3 quarters, India has almost grown at 8% over the same time frame in the previous financial year, which is FY23, which means that even if India grows at 7.9%, we are looking at almost an 8% growth year on year. So that's the GDP data coming, breaking pretty much all expectations and leaving pretty much nothing left to imagination when it comes to the overall growth forecast for the year for FY24.